Okay, YouTube's live. TikTok's live. And we're good to go. Okay, hello everybody. Hi, how are you doing? Sorry we're a little bit late today. We're about 5 minutes late, but it's not the end of the world. I do apologise. A little bit busy, but we're here now for more Farm Sim Friday. I'm doing the camera thing again. I keep forgetting that the camera's over here now, and I keep looking over there. Hello. I know that you're down there. Hi, Draydog. How's your day been? My day's been very good, Draydog. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's not been too bad. A little bit busy working on some video stuff, which I will reveal in a few days' time. I figured, you know, we're already 2 weeks into the year, and I still haven't made any videos yet. So I've gotten stuck into some video stuff, and hopefully there'll be at least 1 or 2 videos coming before the end of the month, because I do want to get back to some kind of regularity with that. We'll see what happens then. How's Amber? He's okay, Draydog. He's still not in a good way, to be quite honest with you. He did molt yesterday, which was very good news. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I thought he was like too old to molt again. He did molt yesterday. Unfortunately, it was a mismolt, and he has lost both of his pedipalps, which are like the little feelers that they have up the front, which is not great. It's going to make it very difficult for him to eat and drink, so I'm going to have to take extra care of him going forwards. But hopefully he will be okay. Like it's survivable. Spiders can survive with missing limbs quite easily. But with it being his pedipalps, it does mean he's going to struggle a bit. So I'm keeping my eye on him. Like I say, as long as I take a bit of extra care, feeding him and giving him water, he should pull through. But it's quite unfortunate. Like I say, it does happen though. It happens all the time. Spiders occasionally lose a leg or something like that when they're molting, or worse. He seems to be okay. So. Scotland map? Yes, Sean, we're going to dive in. Sorry, spider talk. Let's dive in. We're going to be continuing with Kinlaig. We're continuing with our Ultra Realism survival series that we've been doing, and I'll update you on what we did last week once we get into it. I keep having to stick my number plate back down, by the way. This is only stuck on with, you know, those like glue dot things that you can get for like putting up bunting and stuff like that. That's all that's holding this on, and they're not very strong. So I want to get something to properly attach the number plate. It keeps just slowly sliding down. How old is your spider now? Says STFC. Well, I've had him for 7 months. Had him since July. Almost exactly 7 months now. But obviously he wasn't newborn when I got him. So I'd say he's probably about 10 months to a year, maybe. Excuse me. What happened? Do you have a pet spider? I do, Sean. Yes, I have a pet jumping spider. I've kept jumping spiders for about 4 or 5 years now. My latest one is called Amber. He's a Phidippus Nikites, so he's black all over with orange on his head and the top of his abdomen. Really cute. He just molted yesterday, but unfortunately it was a slight mismolt, so he's lost a couple of limbs, but he'll live. He'll live, hopefully. I mean, I've seen spiders survive a lot worse. You know, there's actually just recently I was watching. I think it was on Instagram. This tarantula keeper had a tarantula that like mismolted so badly that it lost all but one leg. Like it literally lost 7 of its legs in a mismolt. And she's still been taking care of it and feeding it. And as long as they're not fully grown, their limbs can grow back. As long as they haven't had their last molt, they can regrow them again. Once they are fully grown, that's it. So if they lose anything after that, it stays gone. But yeah, they're very resilient. They're very resilient spiders. They can quite easily regrow limbs as long as they've not reached maturity. I don't know if Amber has or not. I think he might have, which means, you know, his pedipalps aren't going to grow back now. But he should still be okay without them. Like I say, as long as I take care feeding him, he should be okay. Anyway, back to the game. So we're continuing with Kinlaig today. If you missed last week's stream, this is what I call my Ultra Realism farming sim series. So what we've done is I've collected together as many different realism mods as I can. We've got a more realistic economy, more realistic vehicles, more realistic crops, animals, so on and so forth. Basically, just went through the mod hub and collected every single mod that I could find that would add as much realism to the experience as possible. Last week's stream was the first episode, and it went really well. Really enjoying it so far. So I'm quite excited to see where it goes from here. But I like the extra challenge. It's been a lot. It was a lot of fun last week with the extra challenge. You know, having to take it a little bit more seriously than I normally do in Farming Sim. Hey Matt on YouTube, how are you doing? Welcome. There's a Scotland map in HCOTW. What's HCOTW, Sean? You'll have to fill me in. Okay, we're at 89% loaded. Shouldn't be a minute. Hunter Call of the Wild. Oh, I've heard of that game. Never played it. And there we go. We're in. Right, so. First things first. Let's recap what we did last week. So, last week was the first episode. We have already bought a little bit of land. We've got field 20 there, field 23, field 50, which is the cows, and field 35, which is grass. And as you can see, we've already done some baling in field 35 as well. So we got some hay bales that are ready to feed to our cows. We have some loose straw in this field here that needs baling. So that's one of the things on today's to-do list, is to get this all baled up. And we need to take soil samples as well, because we are playing with precision farming, so it is essential that we find out what kind of soil we've got. It'll help us a lot with fertilizer costs in the future. The most important thing we need to do, though, is sort out the cow situation, because unfortunately we've already lost 8 cows. So we're playing with a mod that makes animals a lot more realistic, and it does mean that animals can die if their health gets too low, and their health can get too low if they don't eat and if they don't drink. Now, unfortunately, what I didn't realise was that as soon as we bought the field with the cows already in it, they just instantly started to starve. Which personally I think is a little bit unfair. We only played for like 3 hours last week, and 8 of our cows managed to starve to death in 3 hours. But I'll accept it. You know, I'm a bit annoyed about it, but I'll accept it. So we are going to want to buy a few more cows to make up for the ones that died last week. We have fed and watered them now, so we shouldn't lose any more. But yeah, we lost some from before we actually gave them any food and water. We actually lost 2 calves, 2 adolescents, and 4 adults. So we'll buy the same. We'll buy 4 adults, 2 adolescents, and 2 calves to make up for it. And I think that should probably be the first thing we do, really. So let's go and head to the car. Actually, not the car. We're going to need the animal trailer, so we'll need a tractor for that. Oh. There we go. I think the TM will do. Oh, the TM's the one with the weird gearbox, isn't it? Open. Why will this not open? Okay, I can't open this gate. There we go. The gate's interaction points are not big enough on this map. You have to stand in a really specific spot to be able to open the gate. Hello, Beesboer. How are you doing today? Oh, hey, Charlie on YouTube as well. How are you this morning? Or afternoon. It might be morning where you are. It is 3 PM here. Fine, and you? I'm good. I'm good. Let's figure out where the animal dealer is. Not there. Where is the animal dealer? Ah, there. Oh, that's not too far. It's just over the road from the shop. We've been that way already, so we know where it is. I'll leave the gate open for now. Let me know if you can see and hear everything alright, by the way, as always. If there's any trouble, I'll see what I can do to sort it. Okay, to the shop. Well, the animal dealer, the animal shop. Loud and clear, good. And is the game alright as well? Yep, perfect. Oh. Try and stay in the right lane, Saul. Oh, we have been here already. We came here last week to fill up a water tank. What steering wheel do you use? It is the Logitech heavy equipment wheel for farming sim. Although I do also use it for Euro Truck. It's a great heavy duty wheel just for any game, really. I've played SnowRunner with it. I've played OMSI with it, the bus simulator. But it is designed with farming sim in mind. Okay, can I interact with the animal dialogue? Or do I have to physically interact with it outside the truck? Thanks for following, Oscar Carp. There we go. Okay, so we are going to need two calves, 2 adolescents, 4 adults. Now, we can only hold 6 cows at a time, so we're just going to have to go for 2 of each and then come back for another pair of adults. Yeah. A transport. Okay. I mean, I've got the trailer here. What am I doing wrong? Ah, okay, I need to interact with the animal dialogue from inside the tractor. It did just pop up there for a brief second. There we go. Okay. Do you have a voice changer on? No. I don't, Connor. This is my natural speaking voice. I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. There we go. Okay, two calves, 600. 2 adolescents, 1,950, and 2 adults, 4,650. And we'll come back for another 2 adults because the trailer can only hold 6. If Bus Sim was popular, then playing it again for a while should get a big audience for future lives. True, Draydog, I have considered playing Bus Simulator again, just to hopefully boost the views a bit, because it was really popular. Weirdly popular. Hi, so I'll only be on for about 10 minutes driving up to Scotland soon. No worries, Daniel, how you doing? Welcome. You're a woman, right, says Connor? I am Connor, yes. I'm a trans woman, so I was born male. It says male on my birth certificate, for the time being. And I was raised as a boy, but I came out at the age of 22, which is about 4.5 years ago now. How's the spider doing, says JK. Not bad, JK. Not particularly great either. He actually molted yesterday, and he's lost both of his pedipalps, which is going to make it very difficult for him to eat in future, but hopefully he'll be okay. He's just going to need a bit more care and attention. Do you still have your stick, says Lucas. Yes, I do, and no, I don't plan on getting rid of it. Ever. How's your internet issue, says Draydog. Not too bad. Not too bad, Draydog. It seems to be... I mean, I'm sure if anything goes wrong today, you'll let me know. But it seems to have just kind of fixed itself. It hasn't been too bad the last couple of days. So I think it may have just been... the weather, you know, it may have just been like cable damage out in the street or something. I don't really know for sure. But whatever it was, it seems to have fixed itself. Okay, there we go. That's our... So we should be up to... 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. Yes, so we just need 2 more adults, and that'll sort it. Can't you do a woman's voice? This is a woman's voice, because I'm a woman, and it's my voice. So, you've only been live for 20 minutes, you've only lagged 2 or 3 times, but it lasted a second. Okay, I mean, little tiny little lags like that, they are just normal. They happen. As long as there's nothing, no like major dips in quality or anything like that, then we're good. Hey Jerex, how are you doing today? Do you have the stick and thing, says Connor. I already said yes, Connor. Let's use our ears. I already answered that question about 2 minutes ago. Yes, I do. I'm good. How are you? I'm good, Jerix. I'm good. Thank you. Great to be back in Farming Sim. You know how much I love Farming Sim, and I've really been enjoying this Ultra Realism so far. It's still early days yet. I can imagine I'm going to be very stressed out by the end of this series, because it's going to be incredibly difficult to keep ourselves afloat financially. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm ready for the challenge, you know. I can't comment the boobs. Oh, boobs. These? Yeah, no, these, I do have some rather impressive boobs that aren't real. They are fake, I'm afraid. No real boobs yet. One day, but I'm not on HRT, so it's, frankly, it'd be a miracle if I had real boobs right now. But, you know, never say never. It is something that I intend to pursue eventually. Okay, 2 more of these. What made you change, says T1N19. I recommend watching my video about this, T1N19, because I do have a video specifically talking about how I how I realised that I was transgender, and it's well worth a watch if you are genuinely interested to know more. But basically, I was very uncomfortable as a teenager. Growing up, you know, I was quite uncomfortable with a lot of aspects of myself, and that's normal teenage stuff, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every teenager who has body image issues is transgender, because a lot of teenagers go through a period like that. It's normal, you know, you get hormonal, you hate the way that you look. That's normal teenage stuff, right? But when I reached adulthood, I still had a lot of those feelings of discomfort. I just felt like there was something fundamentally wrong with me, like with who I was, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was, like what was causing those feelings. And then I started to consider that I could be transgender. I didn't really know any trans people growing up. I was aware that trans people existed, but I didn't really know what it meant. Other than, you know, it's someone who was born as a man or a woman who now is a woman or a man. I didn't really understand what it meant and what it was, but the more that I learned about it, the more it kind of made sense to me, and I started to realise that a lot of those feelings that trans people frequently describe having did apply to me. And that's when I started thinking, you know, maybe I'm transgender, maybe I would be happier, and maybe I would have been happier if I'd been born as a girl and if I'd been raised as a girl. And that was about 5 years ago, and I never looked back. If you want a more detailed answer, like I say, I do have a video about it, because it's not exactly an easy question to answer just like off the top of my head. It's a very, very loaded question. But yeah, that's the basic gist of it. I was never really comfortable, and I could never figure out why until I considered that I might be transgender. Respect to you, you should be happy in yourself. Thank you, Paul. I am happy as well, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people do ask me, like, do you regret being trans? Do you ever look back and think, wow, I wish I'd never came out as trans? And the answer is a resounding no. I cannot put into words how much happier and more comfortable I am with myself now. It just feels right, you know. It feels so correct. Also, thank you for taking care of that, Draydog. Draydog is one of my moderators, by the way. So don't worry if there's any spam or comments of that nature. Draydog will take care of it for us. I don't mind asking questions. Anyone who's been watching me for a long time will know that no question is too far for me. I mean, I don't appreciate some of the questions that I get, but I will still do my best to answer them. Questions are fine. What's not fine is when you just spam the same emoji over and over again, because nobody... That's just winding everyone up, you know? But the first job of the day is done. We now have our new cows in the field. Let's go see how they're doing. And they do have some food and water. Now, again, because we're playing with the realistic animals mod, I forget the exact name of it, but our animals can die if they don't have appropriate levels of food and water, so we are going to have to keep a very close eye on them and make sure that they are fed and hydrated. They're doing okay at the minute. Grass they've got and water they've got. Obviously, total mixed ration would be a lot better, but we can't do that yet because we don't have everything that we need for it. Total mixed ration is it just hay, silage, and grass? I think it is. It's just a mix of all three of those. But you can also buy silage additive, I believe, or is that a mod? If we've probably got it, if it is. Just having a quick look. Animals, food. Ah, there we go. Mineral feed can be added as part of your total mixed ration to feed your cows. So this is basically just vitamins. You can mix it in with the total mixed ration to get your cows a little bit healthier. What makes the tractor you have? This is the New Holland TM190. We've also got a T8000 back at the farm. Big New Holland fan. And I think we are going to be looking at a third tractor soon, which may also end up being a New Holland. I don't know. We'll see. But the next job of the day is, I think, baling. We've got to bale the straw in field 20. So we are going to need the T8000 for this, because this tractor isn't quite powerful enough for the baler. There we go. This one will do the trick. Massey are nice tractors. I do like Massey, yeah. I'm particularly a big fan of older Massey Ferguson tractors. I quite like classic tractors. We don't have any at the minute. Well, we got the Volvo Crabat, which is a classic tractor, but we don't really use it for anything because it's not really powerful enough for anything. But yeah, big classic tractor fan. Okay. If Scania did tractors, they'd probably be decent tractors. They would, yeah. Scania would make a great tractor, I'm sure. Given how great their trucks are. Big Scania fan as well, by the way. Right, now, we haven't windrowed this, which means it should be... It might cause a bit of trouble. The baler might not quite be wide enough to get it all. But we'll see how we get on. We can always go back for bits that we've missed. How about John Deere? Says Matt. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest John Deere fan. I know John Deere, very popular brand of tractors, particularly in the United States. They're very, very defensive of their John Deeres. They're okay. They're okay. I'm not a big fan of John Deere as a company, because they are known to be quite shady. They have like really weird warranty rules where like you're technically not allowed to do maintenance on your own tractors. It's really weird. So the company themselves, I think, are a bit scummy in that regard. The tractors aren't bad though. Like they don't make bad tractors. It's just if the tractor breaks down, technically you're not legally allowed to fix it yourself, which is very strange. Oh, I should have reset the bale counter, because I wanted to keep track of how many bales we've got. Right now it says we got 30 bales, but it's because it's also counted the hay bales that we did last week. I should have reset the counter to 0. A lot of supercars are like that now, and luxury cars. Yeah, the thing is though, like, it kind of makes sense for cars. I still think it's weird. Right to repair absolutely should exist, and I think it's weird that you like aren't allowed to repair something that you own. But for supercars, it at least makes some sense. You need someone who's like an actual expert in tuning and stuff like that. With a tractor though, like the idea of a farmer not being able to do maintenance on their own tractor, that's absolutely wild to me. Yeah, like I say, for supercars, it makes some kind of sense. For tractors, it's really weird. Okay, so how many bales do we reckon we're going to get out of this field? I think we've got 6 so far. And we haven't even finished the headland yet, so 20 as a rough estimate. Might be a low ball in it, I don't know, we'll see. Just forcing you into paying their prices. Exactly, Ricardo. It is just another money-making scheme, to be honest. Like, you know, if your John Deere tractor breaks down, make sure that you call a licensed John Deere engineer to fix it, and that way we get even more money. It's very obviously just a money-making scheme. Clarkson bought a German Ferrari tractor and it's a pile of shit. I didn't even realise Ferrari made tractors. I mean, I'm aware of Lamborghini. I know Lamborghini has an established history with tractors, and in fact a couple of farming sim games have had Lamborghini tractors available. I think FS15 had a Lambo tractor available. Okay, we definitely missed a little bit of straw just there. Hopefully not too extreme. With how shit it is, it was probably a short-lived thing. True. I think I definitely think there are some companies out there who think that, you know, because we can make this one thing, we can make everything. Like, a good example of that is Ferrari. Like, oh, just because we make good cars, that must automatically mean we'll make good tractors. And it sounds as if that's not true. Got to go back to work now, chat soon. Thanks for joining, Paul. See you later. Lambo tractor makes me laugh. Just stick to cars. You're making enough. I think Lambo actually started with tractors, though, didn't they? I could be wrong on that, but I think Lamborghini was a tractor company before they made cars. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I frequently am, and I like to be corrected. I don't like spreading misinformation. But I'm pretty sure Lamborghini was a tractor company first. I'll tell you another a good car company that also make tractors, Renault. Renault do some really good tractors, honestly. It's a shame there aren't any in the game. I have played with a couple in previous farming sims through mods, but I really think, you know, they've missed a beat there. They could get a brand deal with Renault, because they could put cars in as well then. Like, with the Highlands Fishing DLC, we've now got Skoda in the game. You can buy Skoda cars. And I just think, well, why don't you do a brand deal with somebody like Renault, because they do cars and tractors? Or bring back the brand deal with Lamborghini and let us buy one of those. Maybe not, actually, because they don't do, like, budget cars, do they, really? I don't think an Aventador would be much use in Farming Sim. Back up. Yeah, stop beeping at me, I know. Thing is, they can't exactly erase their failed projects like Ferrari with their shit tractors. Yeah, I mean, once a bad product's out there, it's out there, you know. The round bale net, by the way, is going really quickly. We've already used a full roll of it. And actually the fuel's going quite quickly too. I noticed the combine harvester is almost out of def. It's almost out of AdBlue, and we've only used it once. Ricardo says there's only Toyota that hasn't got a bad vehicle in their entire fleet. I think Toyota's got a very good track record, yeah. And I believe they've also dabbled in tractors. I don't know how successful they were, but they do have some history. Scania do great trucks and buses, so they'd 100% do great tractors, and most farmers would be queuing for them. I agree, Dreydog. Like I said earlier, Scania, very well known in the trucking industry, and they make some great coaches as well. I think Scania should branch out into tractors. I'd love to see a Scania tractor. Are you gay? Says Kilpatrick Bros. I'll just let this speak for itself, to be honest. I don't think you really need to hear the answer to that question. You could put 2 and 2 together, Kilpatrick. What a stupid question, says Ricardo. Hey, come on, you know what they say. There are no stupid questions. Although I think they just say that to make stupid people feel better about the questions that they ask. No, honestly, if you want to... there are no stupid questions here. Ask me whatever you like. Nice setup. Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much. It's taken me a few years to get my setup to this level. I started out with the steering wheel. Then last year I got the gear shifter, which you can't see because it's slightly out of frame right now. We got the handbrake here. I've even got an ignition lock with keys. That's from the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25. I'm very happy with my setup. It's not perfect. The steering wheel is showing its age, and I would quite like to upgrade that at some point. But yeah, I'm very happy with it as it stands. I only mute them if they spam or if they keep asking questions that you clearly don't want to answer. Thank you, Draydog. That's how I normally operate anyway. Like I say, I don't have a problem with questions. The only thing I really have a problem with is spam. We're going to have to pick up all these bales, by the way. And I'm not wasting money on a fancy auto stacker either. We're going to have to be coming in with the bale spike and picking these up manually. Which is going to be even trickier because remember, we can't actually use third-person view. We're locked to the internal camera. We got a nice big bale trailer though. Isn't there a machine that can give you square bales? There is, Draydog, yes. The reason I mainly do round bales is because they're easier if you want to wrap them. I know I'm not wrapping them right now. But typically round bales are a lot easier to wrap. You can get square bale wrappers, but they cost a lot more than the round ones. So it kind of makes sense to me to just have one baler and just do round bales rather than wasting money. And round balers are a lot cheaper as well. A lot cheaper than square balers. I mean, just look at the size difference. You know, this is like a typical size for a round baler. Some of the square balers that you can get are twice the size of this. In fact, look at this. Look at this. This is a square baler, and it's, if you include the outlet at the back, this is like 3 times the size of the round baler. They're just so huge and so expensive. So yeah, I just prefer round balers. They're cheaper. They're a lot more compact. The only annoying thing about them really is that you have to stop whenever a bale needs unloading, whereas with square balers they automatically drop them off as you go. Wonder how many more we're going to get. We've got 2 more rows after this one. So I'd say 5 more bales. Afternoon, Charlie. How are you doing? Welcome back. Just had an afternoon nap. Nice one. All my comments getting flagged, says Ricardo. Sorry about that, Ricardo. There are certain keywords that get flagged by TikTok. I do also have some blacklisted words. Sometimes I have to blacklist like perfectly ordinary words because people spam them over and over again. Okay, we're nearly there. You're straight, says Ricardo. No, I wouldn't say straight. I consider myself pansexual. I mostly like women, but I'm not unattracted to men either. I definitely have a preference for women. But yeah, like I say, I would be lying if I said that I didn't find any men attractive. So I think pansexual best describes my sexuality. First comment flag, but you got what I meant. Yeah, like I say, sometimes comments do get flagged unnecessarily. It's an unfortunate consequence of, you know, having to moderate in the first place. Like, for example, if a bunch of people are spamming the same word, even if it's just like a perfectly innocent words, and there's like 20, 30 people just spamming it, then I will add it to the keyword list, and that has happened before. And sometimes I add words to the list and then forget to remove them. So we've got a couple of moderators here right now. I think that they do have access to the keyword list, so if there's any words that are on the list that shouldn't be, you know, feel free to take them off of it. Moderators. But yeah, I just remember that time that I can't remember what word it was. It was like some really innocent word. It was like soap or something. And I just had like 50 people spamming soap over and over again. So I had to add soap to my blacklist of keywords. And then I forgot to take it out of the blacklist after the stream, so for like months and months, people just weren't allowed to write soap in my in my chat. It's that sort of thing. It happens. It's necessary, unfortunately, to like I say, that's just the consequence of managing the chat. Sometimes words will end up on the blacklist that shouldn't really be, but they're only on there because they're being spammed. Hi Saul, hope you're okay. I'm good, Fred. How are you doing today? Welcome back. We're just doing a bit of farming. Doing some baling, specifically. I got bald or egghead all the time, so I had to do the same. You get it, Ricardo. You know how it goes. I'm good, thank you. Glad to hear it, Fred. I'm just trying to scrape together enough straw to do one more bale. I think I've got it set to 80%, so we can offload a bale if it's 80% complete. But right now we've only got 41% of a bale. Did we pick that up? No, we didn't pick that up just now. The problem is if we don't empty it, then we can't make hay bales because the baler's got a load of straw in it. Like, there's no way to empty the baler out unless it's to make a bale. Which personally I think is quite unrealistic. There should be an option to just, like, dump the loose hay back out, the loose straw. Even if you haven't got enough to make a full bale, in real life, if there wasn't enough in the baler to make a full bale, you'd just scrape it all back out, right? You wouldn't just be like, okay, I can never use this baler again because it's got 2,000 litres of straw in it. Okay, we got up to 55%. Is there any more loose anywhere that we can get? There's a little bit here. It's not going to be enough, though. TikTok should add filter and blocked words. Filtered, the host can still see and accept, not just block words that are gone full stop. I do agree it would be nice to have, like, comment filtering, but at the same time, it'd be a pain in the arse having to go through and manually approve comments. I guess, you know, I've got a couple of moderators, so they could help out and they could filter those. They could approve those filtered comments. It's like I say, it's a good idea in theory, but if you're just doing it on your own with no moderators, you'd have to be like constantly pausing the game to check the filtered comments, you know. Okay, we got 63%. Come on, just a tiny bit more. There's a little bit here. $70, 72, 75, 76. I don't think that's enough, is it? It isn't. Oh, shit. Is there any more loose hay? Straw? Oh, there's a bit here. Oh, there's quite a lot here. Okay. We might be okay then. You still block certain ones and then filter others for approval. Doesn't necessarily have to approve. You can still read it. Just choose to approve to chat. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, Fred. Oh, okay. This should be enough. This should be enough. $87. Yeah, we might even get another full bale. Or very close to one. %. It's not bad. It's not bad. We can unload it, so that's the main thing. And this time I'm going to reset the bale counter for next time. because I have no idea how many bales we got. If it's unfiltered words, you and mods can read it. Chat can't unless approved. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, it could work. Play Piscinaire Valley next, please. Is that an FS25 map? I will be honest with you, I'm not going to be playing any other maps for a long time. This is only our second episode on this map. I'm going to be playing this for at least 3 or 4 months, so I can't make any promises on what the next map's going to be. The thing you got to bear in mind is that I only play Farming Sim once a week, like less than once a week. With a lot of players, a lot of YouTubers and streamers who play Farming Sim like as their main thing, they'll play it like 4 or 5 times a week, so they have time to play loads and loads of different maps, right? But because I only play it once a week, I kind of have to pick a map and stick to that map for several months, you know? Okay, then. Have you done this with realism mods? Yes, we have. We have basically every realism mod on the mod hub right now. You know, ranging from economy stuff to animals, crops, manual attachments, all that kind of stuff. The whole point of this series is that it's supposed to be as realistic as possible. There we go. That'll do. It's a little bit in the bushes, but that'll do. I should have refilled the bale net wrap first, but it's done now. What's the next job that needs to be done then? I think we'll do the soil sampling next. We still need to collect the bales, but they won't disappear. You know, they can wait until the morning. Let's go and get ourselves a soil sampling machine, if I can remember where it is. Miscellaneous. And there it is, the Azaria Scout. We won't buy it, we'll just lease it, because we're only going to be using it to take a couple of samples now, and then we'll be done with it for the time being. We've got 3 fields at the minute. Oh, we bought field 2? When did we do that? Oh yeah, the canola field. Oh my god, I actually forgot that we bought that. It's not ready to harvest yet, so we're okay, but we do have a field of canola as well. Which we can't take samples from until it's been harvested. So maybe we should have waited until tomorrow to buy the sampling, to lease the sampling machine. It's done now. Too late. To the shop. God, it's been an hour already. It's 4:05. I did not realise. These streams seem to fly for me. I think when you're playing like this and you're trying to keep things as realistic as possible, you don't realise how much time things take. And then by the time you've harvested like 2 fields, you look at the clock and it's like, wow, this took me 2 hours. I didn't realise I'd been doing it for that long. Okay, here it is, the Scout. If you've never played with precision farming before, this is a soil sampling machine. Basically, you take it out into the field, you drill little holes in the ground to get soil samples, and then you have those analysed, and you can find out what kind of soil you have in your fields. And it affects all sorts of things. It affects how effective fertilisers are, you know, which fertilisers are the best to use, and how much to apply. I don't know if it affects the quality of what crops you can grow by default. I think you might need an extra mod for that. Like, for example, certain crops might only grow in loam. But I don't think that's included in precision farming by default. It just affects the pH and nitrogen levels. Did you see that? Did you see the 3-wheeler there? I didn't notice that before. I keep seeing there's some very iconic cars keep driving past. We've seen a couple of minis. That looks like an Aston. Couldn't tell what that was. There is a lot of recognisable British cars on the map, which I appreciate. I think it does affect the yield. Like I say, I know obviously the nitrogen level and pH level affect the yield. Like I say, I'm not sure if it I'm not sure if the soil type itself affects which crops you can plant there. I wonder what we're going to do with our cows anyway. Because obviously milk, but we do also have the meat production mod, which allows us to make meat products. So I don't know if we're going to do that yet. I don't know if we're going to use our cattle for meat. Are Highland cattle? I think Highland cattle are more for milk, right? I could be wrong. I don't think it really matters. I think you can use any type of cow for meat with the mod. But obviously, in reality, certain breeds are more designed, bred for meat versus milk. Do you have the cakes and bakery mod? I don't think so, Fred. No. Let me take a quick look, actually, because if I do, it'll be listed in the shop under mods, right? There we go. This is the meat processing mod. It doesn't really add much here, just cardboard and spices and stuff like that. But it does add some buildings as well. Like slaughterhouses and stuff like that, and various meat processing stuff. I don't think we do have cakes and bakeries. It doesn't. I'm not seeing it on the list. I've got so many on the list that I forget what we've got sometimes. Honestly, I'm gonna send some gifts from my other account. Are you ready? I am, Charlie. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Hey, thank you, Charlie. Apple user. Oh, I see. That's a default username. I thought I thought you'd actually chosen Apple user as a username, but that's like just an automatically generated username, right? But thank you anyway, Charlie. Thank you very much for the GGs. Ooh, a little bit too far there. I hate missing bits with the soil sampler. I have to make sure every single square inch of the field is scanned. There you go. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much. Also, does anyone know, does the soil profile change over time? Because obviously, in real life, if you're ploughing up the field and churning up the dirt and moving it around all the time, over time the soil would shift a little bit, right? So do you have to like rescan in a few years and the samples will look slightly different? Because I don't think you do. I don't think that actually. I don't think like the soil physically gets moved around in that sense in game. That's a good mod for cows because you can make cakes to sell. Lovely. I'll have to consider it then. I'm aware of the cakes in the base game. I didn't know there was a mod that expands that. That's pretty cool. We've accidentally sampled a little bit of next door's field as well. Hope they appreciate it. I'm off to work. Pizza shop. Drop me a message in Discord later. Thank you, Charlie. See you later. Thanks very much for joining. And thanks for the gifts as well. Oh, can we get all this in one? No! Oh, you joking. There's just the tiniest little sliver that we're going to have to get a separate sample for. We've taken 17 samples so far. Or will have taken 17 in this field. Okay, so that's field 23 scanned. We now need to go and take samples in field 20 and 35. We'll have to wait till tomorrow to take samples in field 2 because there is canola in there right now and we don't want to be running over it. This is going to be awkward as well, trying to take samples whilst also navigating around all these bales. What are we going to do next then? We are going to obviously have to pick up the bales before we can really move on, but I think we can start doing some groundwork for next year. The fields will probably need ploughing because it's a new save, and almost all the fields need ploughing at the start of a new game. And we do have a plough. We've got a Pottinger. I forget the exact model. I hate ploughing. It's one of my least favourite jobs to do. But it needs doing every now and then. We could get a subsoiler, which is a lot cheaper, but also a lot smaller, but also a lot faster. I genuinely don't know which is the better option, because the subsoiler isn't as wide, but you can drive faster with it, whereas the ploughs are typically a lot wider, but they're very slow to operate. I think it probably works out taking about the same amount of time. I just find subsoilers so much more maneuverable as well. Ploughs are really unwieldy. Really difficult to maneuver. Oh shit, I just accidentally taken 2 samples in the same spot. You're wasting your money, Saul. I think we'll get 2 more. Yep. Oh, there's a train coming. I still haven't seen the train yet. I want to see it. It's a steam train, apparently. Black 5. I think it's Black 5 anyway. That's what I hear. I want to go and have a look. Ooh, just clipped someone's bin there. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. I really want to see it because I've not seen it yet. I think we can even drive it as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, here it comes. Is it a Black 5? I think it is. It was very quiet. I appreciate the effort, but didn't really feel much like a steam engine. But hey, it's not Train Simulator. The trains don't have to be perfect. It's about the farming. It's about the tractors. Let's just say I'm not impressed. Anyway, back to work. We've got field 35 still to sample. And then I might give the stream a quick restart as well at past. Just for the hell of it, you know, just to see if it makes any difference. It never does, but maybe one day it will. You know, it's been 6 months since I hit 7k. 6 months. I got from 0 to 5k in half that time. I'm not even joking. Zero to 5k in 2 or 3 months. And it's taken the last 6 months for me to get from 7k to just over 7.5. It's wild. I'd wait until 5 so that you send the notifications to those finishing work later. That's not a bad idea, Fred. I might try and restart at 5 instead. Try and make sure I get the corner. Oh, bale there. Okay, a couple more samples, and then we'll send them off for analysis. Okay, that's this field done. How do I send? L2 and 4. Soil samples are sent to a laboratory for analysis. You'll see the results on the soil map soon. Good. Okay, we're going to take this to the shop. No, we're not going to take it to the shop, sorry, because we're not quite finished with it yet. We're going to take it back to the farm and just drop it off for now. And then I think we might sleep. I know it's only 10 to 6 in-game, but we are still on the first day. We've gotten quite a lot done. And if we can get the canola if we can get the canola harvested first thing in the morning, then we can return this to the shop, you know. And I don't want to keep it any longer than necessary because it's going to cost us. You know, it is only a rental, so. Okay. We're probably going to be using you again tomorrow, so you might as well just go in forwards. Right. Let's get some sleep. Wait, where do I actually sleep? Do I have to go upstairs? I can go upstairs. Oh, that's cool. That's cool that I actually have to go into the house. Please tell me that's not AI generated, because I would absolutely lose my mind if it was. You're better than this, Giants. I don't think it is. Okay, let's do a big save as well. And hopefully field 2 will be ready to harvest now. It is. Okay. In that case. Wait, what else? Okay, bathroom. A bathroom with 2 doors leading to it. That's not normal, is it? I just want to explore the house. I didn't even realise we could explore the house. Okay, there's some fucking creepypasta ass TV show on. There's a Halloween pumpkin up here. I wonder if this is where the collectibles go when you find them, because I think there are collectibles on this map. We got a spare room. The laptop's just on 24/7 in the spare room. Why not? We're a farmer. We obviously got so much money. The lights are all left on permanently as well, just all day, every day. We got another laptop on in the study down here. And then this is the garage. Well, shed. Lovely. I do like that we got an actual house. That's pretty cool. Oh, we got a greenhouse as well, but I don't think this is functional, which is a shame. Lovely morning. Okay, let's go. Yeah, you can see the AdBlue is running quite low already. So, might be a good idea to buy some. I should probably have my lights on. It's still quite dark. Oh, we got another narrow gate here. It's going to make things tricky. Spinach? No, 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 no. Oh, you are joking. Why the fuck? Why is the colour of spinach exactly the same as canola? I thought this was a field of canola. Fuck. We don't have the equipment to harvest spinach. We don't have a spinach harvester. Do you have any idea how much that shit costs? I mean, we can't do it. We can't do it. 635 grand for a spinach harvester. I'm just gonna have to sell the fields. I swear, I thought this was a canola field. I looked on the map. It looked like it was canola. I didn't realise. Right, okay, so this field here, field 28, this is canola. Can you tell the difference just at a glance? That field 28 here is canola and field 2 here is spinach? Or do they look like the exact same fucking colour? Unbelievable. Okay, we're gonna have to sell this field. $276. Fine. Someone else can have it. Someone who's got 700k to spare for a fucking spinach harvester. Oh, do not tell me I'm stuck. I'm fucking stuck, aren't I? There isn't room to U-turn here. You know what? I'm going to reload the save, because we only just saved anyway. What a piss take. What a joke. That's quite annoying. As you can tell by my voice, I'm quite annoyed. Okay, we'll load back in. We won't bother with that field. Okay, just loading back in. Shouldn't take a minute, everybody. Ugh. Tired. It's been a long week for me. Busy, busy, busy. Okay, and we're back. How do I get out? There. So this time, before I do anything else, we're selling field 2. It's useless to us. It's completely... What a waste of money it was buying it in the first place. I didn't realise it was spinach. It's gone. That means that we can return the soil sampling machine, because we don't need it anymore. We've sampled all of our fields, and... Oh! We should have had the results back as well. So, what's going on? Right, field 35 is mostly silty clay. Field 20 is a bit of a mix between loam, sandy loam, and loamy sand. Field 50 is mostly sandy loam with a good chunk of loam as well. We don't really need to remember this because the machines will automatically adjust to account for the soil types. But what that basically means is next time we spread fertilizer on field 35, for example, it'll automatically adjust how much fertilizer is going down depending on what type of soil is underneath it. Which is very handy. It saves you money on fertilizer and gets you better yields. Meantime, though, we're done with this. Let's take it back to the shop and return it. Let's put the flasher on as well. I've realised at this camera angle, with the way the lights are, you almost can't even tell that it is flashing. It just looks like it's continuously on, but it is spinning. Okay, where do I actually return it? I think it was there by the entrance, right? Yeah, here we go. Right, there we go. We could have returned this yesterday. Never mind, we're returning it now. Thanks very much. It was very useful. We got our soil samples. Now we can get to collecting the bales, I think, is going to be the next job that we get up to today. We got quite a lot of them. I don't know if we're going to sell any of our bales, or if it might be a better idea to just keep them, you know, in the long run. I'm not sure if we're going to get any penalty for keeping our bales for too long with the red tape mod. So we might have to sell them, because it might actually end up costing us if we keep them for too long. I'll have to double check, but either way, they need collecting up. Whether we sell them now or store them for later, they do need collecting up. We also need to think about what we're doing with the wheat and barley. We got quite a lot of wheat and barley in the last harvest. But it's kind of just sitting there in a silo right now. Do we want to wait until the sell price is high, or do we want to take it to a bakery and make some flour? We'll have to think about it. Probably won't be time for it today anyway. I think this will maybe not take us quite to the end of the stream, but it's going to be a quite lengthy job. May as well go out the way we came in. Save us opening another gate. How are the cows doing, actually? Because they have been fed now. They've been given food and water. They should be doing alright. Let's see. Well, they're all still alive, so that's good. Health is not bad. could be better. They're at like 28-30% health, but it's better than yesterday. Some of them were at 2% health yesterday. Some of them were very close to dying yesterday. And obviously we don't want that this early into the series. We already lost a few by mistake because I didn't feed them when I first bought them. But as long as we can keep these ones alive, we'll be fine. Okay. It's time. It's time for my least favourite job in Farming Sim. Bale handling. I hate bale handling. With a passion. But it's got to be done. And because we're playing this realistically, we're going to do it the right way. I will still pick them up 2 at a time, though. I think that's fair. Okay, here we go. Right, 2 down. God knows how many to go. I haven't been counting. We would have known if I'd reset the bale counter earlier, but I didn't, so... I know we got 56 bales total, but I don't know how many of those are hay and how many are straw. I'm going to put the timescale up slightly as well, because we had it set to 1 for the whole of last week. And if we have it set to 1 all the time, it's going to take us forever to get anything done. So we'll keep it at 3 times for now. I think that's reasonable. How's that? Not bad, actually. Not bad. If we can... Oh, we can't put the spikes vertically, you know, pointing straight down, which is going to make it a little bit harder to shunt them like this. That one just sprang straight back to where it was. Come on, I just want you to just do that. That's better. That's not bad, actually. That's probably some of my best bale handling work that I've done, if we're being honest. Oh, I see that one in the corner. Almost missed it. Oh, shit. We've lost both of them. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to restart the stream at 5. Just to see if it makes any difference to the viewing figures. Like I say, I'm just getting really annoyed recently with the extremely low viewership that I'm getting on TikTok. I think it's all but confirmed that I've been shadow banned, and there's, you know, once you've been shadow banned, that's it, really. And I think it's been at least, I think it's been about for the last 2 months or so. Something not right. Exactly, Dagger, exactly. I know not every single follower is going to watch every single live stream, but when I've got 7,500 followers and there's only 3 people watching my stream, you know, that says to me that they don't know that I'm streaming because TikTok isn't telling them that I'm streaming because I've been shadow banned. And if you don't know what shadow banned means, basically it's when your views are deliberately like they deliberately restrict the reach of your videos and streams. Like they deliberately don't put it on the For You page as much, and so you get way less viewers. I think it happened around the same time that I got my account strike, which happened towards the end of last year. Ever since then, it's just completely stagnated. You can improve it by joining an agency. I actually am part of an agency, Fred. That's how bad it is. I am part of a TikTok agency, and it hasn't helped at all. A good agency? Well, supposedly it was recommended to me by a friend who's also with them, and it helped them out. What is happening right now? There we go. I don't know, it just seems like no matter what I do, TikTok doesn't want me to have any viewers. Like, they've gone out of their way to try and stop me from getting any viewers. Like I say, when you go from getting 20, 30 followers per stream to the point where you're losing followers while streaming, that's when you know that there's something wrong. Like, literally, some of the recent live streams that I've done, my follower count has gone down during the stream. I haven't actually gained a single follower in the last 2 months, because every time I get a new follower, I also lose one. Like... And I'm not exaggerating, it has been 60 days that I've just been stuck at 7,660. It literally... It'll go up by like 1 or 2, and then it'll come straight back down again. And I don't know how else you explain that other than a shadow ban. You need to post a video before going live. It pushes that video onto the For You page. I've tried that, Fred. During the Jingle Jam charity live stream last year, I streamed 8 days in a row, and I posted a video every single day at the same time as I was streaming. Didn't make a difference. Like, literally not a blind bit of difference. Believe me, I've tried everything that can be tried. The only thing I haven't tried is just making a new TikTok account and starting again. And I really don't want to do that, because it's taken me quite a long time to build up to the audience that I've got here now. But, I mean, what other option do I have at this point? Sorry, phone died, everything okay? Yeah, we're all good, Dre Dog. Just ranting about TikTok some more. Don't do a new account, push your views to another platform. I've tried that as well, Fred. I've got 270 followers on YouTube. And 70 on Twitch, so I'm not doing too bad on those other platforms, but TikTok is by far where most of my audience is. Are you live on both of them now? I am, yes. I am live on YouTube and Twitch as well. We all know how much you love the TikTok system, says Dre Dog. Yes, it's well known at this point, my opinions on TikTok. We aren't actually going to fit all these bales on this trailer, are we? I didn't realise how many we actually ended up making. So we might have to sell some of them. If we fill the trailer and then sell them, and then we might have enough for another trailer load, to be honest. It can be a pile of shit. Most of the time it's run by a useless AI. True, Grey Dog. The thing is, I wouldn't be so mad if I couldn't pinpoint the exact day that it happened. Like, you can literally... I can look at my analytics, and I can see the exact moment that my viewers and followers just completely flatlined. Which is how I know that it's almost definitely a shadow ban. Like, I was doing well up until, like, the end of November last year. And literally, you can look at my follower count on my analytics page, and just on one specific day, it just goes completely flat. And it's been there for 2 months now. Just not moving at all. And I'm no expert, but that seems like a shadow ban to me. Okay, we accidentally knocked one of the bales off. I don't think we're going to get many more on here anyway. No idea how the reporting system works, but when you get reported, doesn't it tell you who reported you so you can block the person? I don't know, Stray Dog, to be honest. I don't think I've ever really reported anyone, to be honest. People have reported me. And we all know how seriously TikTok takes their reporting system. You report someone for saying the N-words, they don't care, but if you report someone for being gay... oh, well, TikTok doesn't like that. TikTok doesn't like trans people making jokes at their own expense, apparently. That's literally a strike-worthy offence. I can get a strike on my account for making a sarcastic comment at my own expense. But someone comes into my chat and says, "Fuck you, tranny, I want you to kill yourself." TikTok doesn't care. TikTok's going to do absolutely nothing about that. I know that sounds like exaggeration, but I'm not exaggerating. That's genuinely how bad it is. Some of the things that people have said to me on this chat, on my live streams, is absolutely disgusting. And TikTok does nothing about it. Oh, for fuck's sake, have we just knocked another bale off? I think we're going to have to just take the bales to sell now. I know we haven't got a full load on there, but... I think we should quit while we're ahead and just take these and then come back for some more. You know I'm not good at this. I'm not good at bale stacking. Where do we sell these? Ah, straw. Oh, the price is terrible right now. But we don't really have much choice because I'm not fucking unloading them again. We have to sell them. Wait, where did the... Ah, there we go. How long will you be live, says Matt? Till 6 o'clock today, Matt. Oh, it's 5 o'clock, by the way, so I am going to just try and restart the TikTok stream real quick. You never know. It hasn't worked until this point, but it might work this time. We'll see. So I'm going to just... Hold on, let me just mark this on the map first. Feeding grain south. There we go. Okay, I'm going to restart the TikTok stream real quick. I will be right back. Okay, and there we go. Oh. Okay, we're back. We're live again. Obviously, it'll take a minute or two for people to rejoin. Hey, Dagger, welcome back. I know it doesn't necessarily make any difference, but it's worth a try. Hi, hello, Horse Lover as well. Spruce, did that say Spruce Bridge? But where's Ashbridge? Hmm? How's your day been? Good, Horse Lover, very good, thank you. I think that actually is where my family name comes from. It must be. There are times I can't repost the live unless you start the live. That's really weird, Draydog. Can you repost it now? Okay. Oh, we're up to a... Oh, we were already on a mill because we sold one of the fields, didn't we? That's not bad, then. Nick says the setup had a glow-up. It did, Nick, yes. Well, the setup hasn't really changed, apart from my new number plate here, but I have changed the camera angle, and I think it does benefit from it. I think it's a lot better having the camera down there, where you can see the setup a lot more clearly. Just finishing setting ETS2 up. Nice one, Horse Lover. I will be playing some more of that. Not next week. I'm going to be playing SnowRunner next Tuesday. But there will be some more ETS2 the week after. And obviously, you're welcome to join the convoy. Oh god, we've still got so many bales left to pick up. Really, maybe we should have got an automatic bale wrapper. You know, they're expensive, but they're a lot less hassle. I don't know how many people the live gets to, but worth reposting it. Yeah, it's always worth the repost, Draydog. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. If anyone else is enjoying the live stream, please do consider reposting, because God knows TikTok isn't going to do it. If TikTok doesn't want to put it on people's For You pages, then it's up to you guys to share it, to make sure that people actually get to see it. Because like I say, TikTok sure as hell isn't. TikTok apparently wants as few people as humanly possible to see my live streams. So please share. If you're wondering what we're doing, by the way, we're currently collecting straw bales. We're playing on Kinlaig, the map from the Highlands Fishing DLC. And I'm also playing with quite a few realism mods, just to give it a bit more challenge. Draydog says, random fact, but I used to go to school with the son of the actor who played Martha's dad in Doctor Who. That's cool, Draydog. That's cool. No family connection, no Doctor Who family connection in our family, I'm afraid. Shame. I can't believe we're not getting any more Doctor Who until Christmas. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's not the first time that Doctor Who's had such a long break between broadcasts, but considering how slow the schedule was before the break, you know, considering how few episodes there've been in the last couple of series, it just really feels like it's been so long now since we had a good regular stream of Doctor Who. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, making the latest two series 8 episodes each was a bad decision. I do not understand why they didn't just make 2 longer series like they used to. Don't like the mini-series. I don't like the mini-series concept, because the thing is, it's not a mini-series. It's got the same amount of episodes as a mini-series, but they still try to cram in as much plot as they would in a full series, and it just doesn't really work. Sorry to be going on about Doctor Who if you're not a Doctor Who fan, but I am, and it's my stream, so I'm going to carry on. Yeah, I just think, you know, knowing that the deal with Disney was for 26 episodes, why would you not do two series of 13 episodes each? That feels like the most logical thing to do, because that's how the format's been for the last 20 years. You know, I don't understand why they... I just don't understand why they thought, oh yeah, 26 episodes, let's do two series that are only 8 episodes each, and then we'll make a spin-off with whatever's left over. Don't like it. I'm not saying that the spin-off was bad. I'm not saying that the 2 latest series were bad. But I am saying I would have preferred if we'd have got 2 full-length series. And I really hope when Doctor Who does properly come back, which probably won't be till 2028 now, but when it does, hopefully we get longer series again. That's what I'm really hoping for. My uncle was in Doctor Who? Nice one, Butch. Who did your uncle play? Doctor Who scene was shot at my father's house once. That was cool. That is cool. I don't think they've ever shot any Doctor Who in Doncaster. But, you know, during the Chibnall era, they did do a lot of shooting in Sheffield. So there were a lot of familiar places in that series that I recognised. We dropped a bale again. Is the bales a mod? They look good. Well, I've got a mod called Rounder Bales, Glyn, which, as you might have guessed, makes the bales appear a little bit rounder, which does add a bit of realism. They are a little bit too polygony in the base game. Thanks for following Logue Agri. Thank you very much. Is it Logue or is it Loag? Loag Agri? I'm not sure. But thank you for following. I'm not sure how to pronounce that username because there's so many S's in it. But Sk asks, how can you be trans if you don't want bottom surgery? Not having a go. I'm genuinely curious. I do have a video about this if you're interested, where I talk more about some misconceptions about trans people, particularly with regards to surgery. To me personally, it's not an essential part of being trans. You know, I don't really have any particularly strong dysphoria in that direction, so it's not something that I consider necessary to me personally. But for me, you know, being trans really is in the mind, you know. Not to say that that makes it non-existent or anything like that, but it's literally it is something that's in the mind, right? It's a disconnect between the mind and the body in that sense. I'm probably not explaining it very well. If you want a proper answer, then I do recommend watching my video about it. But I don't think that wanting surgery is necessarily a prerequisite to being trans. I don't think that just because I'm happy with what I've got, that makes me not transgender. You know, I think every trans person has a different perception of their gender. Some people will be comfortable with certain parts of themselves and uncomfortable with other parts. And for me personally, like I say, that's never something... I've never really felt uncomfortable about that part of myself. Would you say you're femboy or trans? I am trans, Jack. I'm definitely trans. Like, I am a woman. I identify as a woman. I just don't think that because I identify as a woman, I must have certain surgeries or procedures, you know? A lot of people think badly of trans people just because there are a few who are a bit screwed up, but the thing is, there's trans people that are harmless. Honestly, I mean, it's just generalization, right? At the end of the day, it's ultimately just, you know, one trans person does something wrong, therefore every single trans person who's ever lived is exactly the same as that person who did something wrong. You know, I mean, that is literally the definition of generalization, right? I mean, if you got mugged, like just as a hypothetical, if you got mugged by a black person and you then spent the rest of your life saying I hate black people because one of them mugged me once, people would call you a racist because that's racist. And it's the same logic. If like one single trans person upset you once and you then use that as an excuse to be like all trans people are evil because this one single person, you know, crossed me one time, that's generalization. All I'm asking is that you don't judge me by the actions of another person. Judge me by my own actions as an individual, right? Forget about the fact that I'm transgender or cisgender or whatever, and just see me as an individual person. Don't just look at me and say, oh, you're transgender, therefore I know exactly who you are. Because you don't. You don't know anything about me. The bale loading's going a bit smoother this time, by the way. And we've only got a few left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like there's 10 more. I don't know if we'll get all of them on here. We might have to take a third trip. But I'll do my best. Oh, right, this keeps happening for some reason. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, that one there's not strapped down. Deep voice you got, love. Thank you, Certiclips. That's called male puberty. That's called testosterone. Gives you a lovely deep voice. It's funny because before I came out, people would always comment on how nasally and high-pitched my voice was. But then after I came out, suddenly everyone's like, oh, your voice is really deep and masculine, bro. It's funny, that. It turns out that if you're a man and you want people to call you a man, all you have to do is tell them that you're a woman, and they'll instantly be like, oh yeah, you're so manly and masculine, bro. If you ever feel insecure about your masculinity, just tell people that you're a trans woman, and they will not shut up about how masculine you are. Oh, I've took off all the straps there. I meant to put them all on. You do you, fella. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't worry. The opinions of people on the internet that I'll never meet face to face don't really concern me in the slightest. I have loving friends and family who accept me for who I am, so quite frankly, what people on the internet think is meaningless to me. I know it's not the same, but remember when Jodie was introduced as the first female Doctor, some people weren't happy? Well, weren't happy is a delicate way of putting it, Dreydog. The same people who absolutely lost their minds when Ncuti Gatwa was cast as well, by the way. If you worked for me on a farm, I'd have fired you, because it doesn't take this long. Well, it's a good job I don't actually work on a farm, G. Because you're not wrong, I probably would be fired quite quickly, because I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing. Big, big difference between playing a video game and doing it IRL. You know, I can't imagine how difficult it is to do this stuff in real life. But I don't do it in real life, so it doesn't really matter, does it? There we go. Okay, I'm going to go and sell these now. Not quite fully stacked, but it'll do. Put the beacon on, please. I am going to put the beacon on, actually, Joe, because we're taking these to the shop now. Harder to load bales in-game than in real life. In real life, loading bales is far easier, says Callum. I think that's true to an extent, because one, the bales in-game have hardly any weight. They're like completely weightless. And two, the physics engine in this game is notoriously not great. I mean, I'm pretty sure in real life, if two bales touch each other, they don't just fucking launch in opposite directions like you've just split the atom, you know? I'm pretty sure real life physics don't work that way, but in-game, they sure do. Would you be a farmer IRL, says Lottie? I don't think I could, Lottie. No. Big respect to the real-life farmers out there. I don't think it's something that I could do. Such a demanding job. High risk, you know, especially with the way things have been the last few years, with Brexit and climate change. You know, yields have been terrible, there's been flooding, there's been all sorts of other stuff. It's not an easy job to do. It's very, very much not an easy job to do. Respect to all the farmers out there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I do chicken farming, but oh, to be a cattle farmer. Honestly, it would be an amazing job to do, you know. I think it seems like such an amazing life, you know, to be out there in the fields every day. But yeah, there's just so much risk involved in it, and it's so much hard work as well. JT Fish Tank says, I farm cattle, sheep, ducks, chickens, llamas, and crop farming, and it's tough. Nice one, JT Fish Tanks. Respect to you for doing all of that. Llamas is cool. Llamas is cool. We've got, just near us, we've got a farmer who's got a couple of llamas. They've become really common, haven't they, in the last few years? It seems like everyone's farming llamas these days. And obviously, even just 10 years ago, they were almost unheard of in the UK, but it seems like everyone's getting into llamas at the minute. They should add them to Farming Sim. Why are there no llamas in Farming Sim, considering how much people seem to be farming them recently? How do you farm llamas, says Liam? The same way that you farm sheep, for their wool. Well, not wool, specifically, but the llamas are farmed for their coats. And it, like I say, it has become quite a common thing in the last few years in the UK for people to keep llamas. Our house is next to a farm, and 5 AM every morning there's some strange sound. We've adapted, luckily. Yeah, lots of strange noises going on at 5 in the morning on the farms, you know. Soon to be getting Highland cattle. Nice one, JT. We've got some Highland cattle in game. Is it llamas that spit at people, or is it a different animal? It is llamas that spit, Draydog, yes. They're quite similar to alpacas. I don't actually know what the difference is. I mean, they're different animals, but like I'm not sure how you can tell them apart because I don't know enough about them. But I think people also do farm alpacas for the same reason, for their coats. Could not give a shit, says Elio Sullivan. Fortunately, Eli, no one's forcing you to be here. If you don't give a shit, all you got to do is take that finger of yours and just go whoop, and you will literally never see me again. It really is that easy. What stick have you got, says Mason? The stick that I'm using just here is the Logitech, it's on the Logitech control panel. This is the steering wheel and side panel are from the Logitech heavy equipment bundle, which I use for farming sim. This stick here is actually a handbrake, but it's not for farming sim, it only works with Euro Truck Simulator. Are poplar bales worth doing? Have you done them? I haven't, Matthew, no. I've never done poplar bales in Farming Sim. They've been in the game for a few years now, but it's never something that I've gotten round to. Llamas are spitters all the time, and their fur isn't good. Ah, is that so? I'm sure your dad's proud. He is, George, yes. My dad has been one of my biggest and most vocal supporters over the years. Thank you for asking. All of my family have been so accepting. I've been incredibly lucky because you hear such horror stories from queer people coming out to their families, and I appreciate how lucky I am that my family have been so understanding. I've been very accepted. I used to work with alpacas. Nice one, Neil. Is it Neil or Nell? I can't quite read your username because it's a little bit... the text's just a little bit too small. Nell. Thank you, Nell. Sorry for saying Neil. Can I ask what you are? No hate, just don't know how to put it into question. I'm a trans woman, Harvey. So I was born male, I was raised as a boy. I came out about 5 years ago, and I've lived as a woman ever since. Like I say, my family and friends all know, and they're all very, very accepting. I haven't medically transitioned in any way yet. I haven't taken any hormones or anything like that. But I have lived, you know, publicly as a trans woman for the last few years. Vickers says, for some reason I want to visit Chester Zoo now with all this animal talk. I've never been to Chester Zoo, Vickers. I went to... where is it? I've been to Knowlesley Safari Park, that was great. And I went to Yorkshire Wildlife Park. I live in Doncaster, so I'm like right next door to Yorkshire Wildlife Park. I went there once, like the year that it opened, and it was so crap. It's apparently really good now, but when I went, it had like only just opened and they had barely anything there. Last time I went to a zoo was one in London over 10 years ago, says Draydog. I went to the Deep earlier this year. It's an aquarium is technically a zoo, right? But for aquatic animals. Yeah, I went to the Deep with my sister and nephew a few months back. Love the Deep. What a great place to visit. I live in Doncaster, Hatfield. Nice one, Mason. Haven't been in this for ages. What's up? I'm good, Freemore. How are you doing? I'm really happy actually because for the first time in literal months, we've actually got a decent amount of viewers right now. It's been so long since it's genuinely been so long since I looked at the chat, and there's more comments than I can read out, and I'm actually struggling to keep up with the comments. This hasn't happened for so long, so I'm really happy. The Deep's so amazing. Haven't been for a decade, but it was insanely good. It's still really good, Vickers. Did they have penguins last time you went? Because they got penguins now, and they're really cute. Do you see yourself taking hormones in the future? I do, Harvey, yes. Hormone therapy is absolutely something that I intend to pursue. I'm not in any rush with it, to be honest, because I'm not wholly uncomfortable with how I am right now. Again, it's definitely something that I want to do at some point, but it's not like a matter of life and death for me. It's not something that keeps me awake at night, which for a lot of trans people it does. You know, a lot of trans people, it really is something that is very urgent. You know, they really do need it straight away. But for me, I have the luxury of being able to wait. You know, I'm kind of in a position where it's something that I want to do, but I don't like need it as a matter of urgency. I can afford to wait until I'm really ready for it, you know. If you don't mind me asking, do you like girls or boys? I prefer women, Mason, but I'm not wholly against men. I'd say I was pansexual, so a little bit of everything, but with a preference for women. If you don't mind me asking, do you like little girls or little boys in the primary school? Says ZA. Well, to be quite honest, ZA, I hate kids. I am not a kid person, so. I need to get back onto Farming Sim. The phase for me is so peak. You should, Freemore. Get back into it. Go on. Okay, we got all the hay bales, the straw bales, but we do still have some hay bales to go, so we'll need to go and collect those. I don't know why I've driven through the field. Vickers says, I'm torn between buying Farming Sim, Bus Sim, or Euro Truck Sim. If you want my advice, Vickers, honest to God, Euro Truck is the way to go. I love Farming Sim, don't get me wrong, I love Farming Sim, but Euro Truck is really... I think Euro Truck might be my favourite simulator game of all time. Huge Euro Truck fan. I've got all the map DLCs. I normally play with pro mods as well. It's a great game. It's a great game. And again, I'm not saying that Farming Sim isn't a great game, but yeah, Euro Truck is by far the best of the three. If you want my opinion. Do they have all the cities and major roads? The map is fairly good. The UK part of the map is actually quite behind at the minute, but they are working on remaking the UK. But yeah, generally most major cities around Europe are included. And if you get all the map DLCs as well, you can go basically anywhere in Europe. If you get mods, you can go essentially anywhere in the world. You know, I mean, I once did a drive from the Faroe Islands to South Africa on stream. It took like 6 weeks, but we did it on stream. A 10,000-mile drive. So yeah, like I say, Euro Truck with a few mods, you can basically go anywhere in the world. This setup's elite. Thank you, first, middle, and last name. This is yeah, I'm very happy with my setup. Once again, the steering wheel and side panel are from Logitech, the Logitech Heavy Equipment bundle. The gear shift, the handbrake here, I just got cheap on eBay. I've also got a gear shifter for Euro Truck, and an ignition lock, and a beacon light as well, which doesn't work right now. Hang on. There we go. Do another long drive like that, it would be class, says Harvey. The thing with long drives in Euro Truck is, at the minute, we're trying to... at the minute, I've been playing a lot of convoys, and people, you know, when you do a convoy, you can't really take a drive that's too long, because people are going to be joining and leaving throughout the stream. When I get back into single-player Euro Truck, I might do some more long drives, but, like I say, at the minute, because I've been doing convoys, we've been trying to keep the jobs nice and short. Excuse me. Absolutely top tier setup. Thank you, mate. Driving is just so therapeutic. Preston to Glasgow is an elite stretch of roads. I wouldn't know because I don't actually drive IRL. Fun fact. Don't get me wrong, I can see the appeal of driving. I can definitely see the appeal of just getting in your car and going wherever you want, whenever you want. But for me, like, the cons outweigh the pros, to be honest. I can't really afford it. And I don't really need to drive because I have pretty decent public transport links near me. If money was no object, I would love to drive, don't get me wrong. And like I say, I can definitely see the appeal of driving, but it just doesn't make sense for me at the minute to drive, so I don't. I had a look at the Logitech the other day. Some of the setups aren't cheap. No, they really aren't, Draydog. This Logitech Heavy Equipment bundle is pretty much the cheapest thing you will get from them. They are good quality, don't get me wrong. But yeah, if you're looking for something budget-friendly, this really is the best option. You will not find a complete steering wheel and side panel bundle for less than the price of this. This cost me 230 quid. And P, who's one of my regular viewers, actually bought a bundle for 150 quid last year because they had a Christmas sale on. But yeah, you will not get a steering wheel, a brand new steering wheel, cheaper than this. Public transport's really bad in the northeast, so it was shockingly more economic for me. That's my attitude, because, you know, I think, you know, do whatever is the most economically sound option for you. If you live in an area that doesn't have great public transport and driving works out cheaper than public transport, then absolutely go for it, you know. But if you live in an area that's got great public transport and it's cheaper to just take the bus, then why not do it? That's my attitude. I'm not against driving. I feel like whenever I tell people I don't drive, they get the wrong idea and they think that I'm somehow like anti-car and I hate cars. Like, it's not that at all. I just don't personally think that it makes sense for me to drive. You know, I'm not against cars. Cars have their uses. They just don't have any use to me personally at the moment. Re-downloading Farm Sim, nice one, 3 more. Which one? 25? Do they have the Sheffield trams in Yorkshire or something? Yeah, Sheffield does have its super tram network, which is pretty good. It doesn't extend to Doncaster as of yet. I think there have been talks about it. At the minute, it stretches as far as Rotherham. But transport in Doncaster isn't too bad. We do have Frenchgate Interchange, which is quite a big transport hub. So there's loads of buses. There's pretty decent train services as well. Obviously, we're on the East Coast Main Line, so getting to Scotland or London is pretty easy. There's direct trains to Manchester, Birmingham, Bristol. So yeah, it's not a bad place to live public transport-wise. They're meant to be putting in new train lines all over the UK, says Harvey. There's a few train-related infrastructure projects going on at the minute. Obviously, HS2, the less said about that, the better. But right now, there's the Transpennine route upgrade happening, which is Manchester to Leeds via Huddersfield. They're electrifying the entire line between Manchester and Leeds, which is pretty big, and it's probably the only major rail infrastructure project that's happened in the north in like the last 50 years, and might be the last one that ever does happen. Because God knows HS2 was never going further north than Birmingham, was it? Even when it was going to be coming to Doncaster, we all knew it never actually would. The second that HS2 got announced, anyone living north of Birmingham just immediately knew, right, that's never going to get finished, is it? and it didn't. It's been like 15 years and they haven't even got to Birmingham yet, where it's going to end. I think they're doing another Transpennine upgrade from Penrith to Middlesbrough, says Vickers. I know there is some work going on in that area. Is that related to the Darlington upgrade? Because Darlington has been completely rebuilt in the last couple of years. Thanks for following, Harvey. York Station's getting a massive upgrade. I wasn't aware of that, Freemore. I'll have to look into it. Oh, again. Thanks for following, Harvey, by the way. Darlington's Ace, they just finished an upgrade. Yeah, they added 2 new platforms for the fast lines to London. Because the way the station was laid out before was really awkward. You had like the main line going through like this, and then all of the platforms were on one side, so like any fast trains had to come off the main line to the platforms. But now they've added new platforms that are actually on the main line itself. So like direct trains from like London to Edinburgh can stop at the station much faster now, which will reduce journey times. Are you live tomorrow? I'm not live tomorrow, Harvey, no. The next live stream is going to be Sunday, and I'm going to be playing Subnautica on Sunday this week, which I'm very excited for. It's a game that I've played quite a lot, but I've never streamed it before. But Subnautica 2 is coming out this year, and I really want to play through the first game on stream before that, because I'm definitely going to be playing the second one on stream when it comes out. I'll be back Sunday, see you then. See you later, Harvey. Thank you for joining, and thanks for the follow as well. Oxford train station will be closed for a week for a bridge upgrade. Nice one, Grey Dog. Never been to Oxford. Oh, we'll stay on this side. I don't know much about trains, to be honest. All I know is that Northern's crap, because... I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. To be honest, there aren't many great options in the north for trains, because Transpennine Express are quite notoriously bad as well, especially with their delays. LNER are pretty good, though. But only because they go near London. If anything that goes anywhere near London is immediately going to have like 10 times the funding of anything that isn't. You know what I mean? Hence why HS2 is only going as far as Birmingham, because once it gets more than 50 miles away from London, they don't care what happens. It interests me a bit how quickly they can demolish anything train related and rebuild it. It does seem like I think people don't realise how quickly the rail network does change. Like I know, like, you might look at your local line and it's been exactly the same for 20 years. Maybe one station's been upgraded. But if you look at the entire network, there's always something going on. There's always some kind of upgrade project happening somewhere. Again, I think because people look at like their own little slice of the network, they look at their own area, they look at the stations near them, it might seem like nothing really changes. But if you look at the wider network, there's always upgrade projects going on. Like it's constantly changing. I mean, I know from my Durham Coastline project for Train Sim, you know, I didn't realise how much that area had changed until I started doing research for that project. Because my original plan for that was that I wanted to build Horden, which opened in 2020. I wanted to add that station to the existing route in Train Simulator. And I like I say, I didn't realise until I started researching how much that line has changed in the last few years. You know, Middlesbrough got a platform extension, Hartlepool Platform 3 got reopened, there was a new footbridge put in at Billingham. Again, if you step back and look at the bigger picture and look at the entire country, there's always some kind of upgrade project going on somewhere on the network. The thing is, I think little bits and pieces here and there are okay, but they're kind of just patching up the problem, you know? They're not really fixing it. Like you said, Draydog, I get that a bridge upgrade won't take long, but there's probably the odd upgrade that'll take a bit longer. I do agree there are some lines that could do with a proper full upgrade, like the whole line needs to be upgraded. And if you just fix bits and pieces, if you just like fix individual stations every now and then, you're just kind of paving over the cracks, you know what I mean? It's very rare that you get something like the Transpennine route upgrade where they say, we're going to take the entire line and upgrade all of it. That doesn't happen very often at all, and it should. There are definitely some parts of the country that could benefit from projects on that scale. But again, I think to some extent there's a lot of papering over the cracks. There's a lot of, you know, let's just put in a new footbridge here, put in a new crossing there, and there's not really enough, you know, let's rebuild the entire line because it was built in the fucking 1890s and it needs to be brought up to modern standards. we've managed to get stuck again. How does this even happen? Okay, it's on there. It's on there. That's all I care about at this point. That's all that matters to me. It's nearly 6 o'clock, by the way, so we are going to be finishing up fairly soon. I do want to say, by the way, I know I said it earlier, but I'm genuinely so pleased that we got a little bit of an explosion in views there. It might have only lasted for 20 minutes or so, but wow, that actually felt like my streams used to feel like, you know, that actually felt like it was going quite well for a bit there. And I'm genuinely hoping and praying that that becomes the standard again this year, because I miss it. I miss when my streams used to have loads of viewers and loads of chatters, and, you know, I was constantly answering questions from the chat. That's what I want to be doing. I hate it when... I mean, don't get me wrong, I like... You know, I appreciate my regular viewers who are here every single week, but I hate when there's, like, only 3 or 4 people watching, and I'm just sat there trying to fill the silence, because there's just not enough people here to have a proper conversation, you know? And I miss the times when we used to have enough views that I could keep talking, and that there was always a question to answer, there was always a comment to read, you know? That's how I want it to be again. And I think we got a little glimpse of that today, and hopefully we'll get more of that this year. Hopefully this year can be my big comeback. Hello, hope you're well, just painting, so not talking. How are you doing, Bradley? One of our bales fell off the side there, but never mind, never mind. God, there's so many of these. I really didn't realise how many of these we actually made. Good, thanks, how are you? I'm good, Bradley, I'm good, thank you. In fact, I'm very good, because we've actually managed to get 4 new followers today, which is like the best I've done in the last 2 or 3 months. So thanks everyone who followed today. Streaming popular games for a while could help with bringing in an audience. That is true, Draydog. That's what I'm... The good news is, there are quite a lot of highly anticipated games coming out this year, and I do intend to play some of them. Like, GTA 6 is coming out this year. That is genuinely one of the most anticipated games of all time. And you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be playing it on stream. Can you imagine how many people will tune in for that? Let's be honest, GTA 6 will be delayed again. Well, we'll have to see about that, Bradley. Only time will tell. It wouldn't surprise me. The thing is, like, I get where you're coming from, Draydog, with, like, you know, I should stream more popular games, but the thing is, this is a popular game. Just a few months ago, this was my most popular series. Like, back when we were playing on Moss Valley, this was my most viewed stream every single week. This was literally the most popular game that I played just a few months ago. That's what's wild to me. That's what annoys me out of everything else. The thing that annoys me most is the fact that my content hasn't changed. Like, I'm still doing the exact same stuff that I was doing 6 months ago, but nobody's watching it all of a sudden. I'm playing the same games that I was playing 6 months ago, I'm doing the same kind of videos that I was doing 6 months ago, and for some reason, they just don't get the views anymore. Well, I say for some reason, the reason is TikTok, and the reason is that I've been shadow banned, obviously. But yeah, I do think playing some bigger games would help. And like I say, I do intend to play GTA 6 when it comes out. I'm going to play Subnautica 2 when it comes out. Hopefully Subnautica is quite a well-viewed stream as well. That's a fairly popular game. So we'll have to see how Sunday's stream turns out. You know what? I think I might clear these up off camera, just because there's still quite a few left, and it's starting to get a bit tedious now. But yeah, like I say, Subnautica, I'm really hoping that Subnautica does quite well, because that's quite a popular game. Outlast did quite well as well, I do have to say. One of the best streams that I've done this year so far was the Outlast stream that I did a couple of weeks ago, and I am going to be playing more of that this Wednesday, so hopefully that stream will do quite well too. But I think I just need to start encouraging people to share the stream a bit more, because it really does help, it really does make a lot of difference. And I also think it might be a good idea for me to start streaming later in the day, because I have noticed there is a very big spike at around 5 o'clock. And I'm not a big fan of the 5 to 8 streams, because I don't really like finishing at 8 o'clock, because then, you know, it's too late to really do anything else, but it's too early to go to bed, so I'm just kind of sat around for 3 hours after the stream. But that does seem to be the best time to do it. You know, the 5 PM till 8 PM streams do tend to start off stronger than the 3 till 6 streams, mainly because people, you know, most people finish work at 5. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should start. Maybe I should make 5 PM to 8 PM. I should make that my usual stream time. SnowRunner next week? Yes, it is SnowRunner next week, STFC. What are your opinions on that, everybody? Do you think 5 PM till 8 PM? Would you watch if I did 5 PM till 8 PM? Because I really do think I might get more views if I did 5 till 8 PM. I will, says Dagger. Nice one. Yeah, definitely. Maybe I will then. Maybe on Sunday we'll do Subnautica at 5 PM. It's worth a try. Anyway, I think we're going to leave things here for now, because it's pretty much 6 o'clock. This is not ideal, but... 3 could be a bit early for people coming home from school and work, so 5 is good, I think. Yeah, I think 5 could be a better time. Let's do that. Let's do that. On Sunday, I'll start at 5 PM instead. And if it goes well, I might make 5 PM the permanent time slot. Because I do a couple of streams at 5 PM anyway. Like Horror Wednesday, I do 5 till 8. We could just make that the standard. Or we could at least do that for a couple of weeks and see if it makes any difference. And if it does, then I can stick to it, you know? So yeah, I think we'll give that a try. Anyway, that being said, I think this is a good place to end the stream. It's still not quite 6 o'clock, but there's not really anything else that needs to be done right now. I'll go and take one quick look at the cows before we finish. Didn't you try 2 till 5 at one point? I did, Draydog. Yeah, it didn't really work out. I think that was a worse time slot, to be honest, because nobody's free at 2 in the afternoon. Like STFC says, most kids finish school at like 4. Most people finish their jobs at 5. I feel like 5 PM is just the time where most people get off whatever they've been doing for the day, you know. That's when most people have their free time. So yeah, I think we'll try it. Cows are looking alright, though. Cows are looking alright. They've got food. They've got grass. We do have loads of grass bales now, so we don't need to worry too much about feeding them. In fact, right, hang on a minute. Total mixed ration. Total mixed ration is grass, hay, and silage, right? So what's stopping us from wrapping a couple of the bales that we've already made and turning them into silage, and then making total mixed ration, which is much better for the cows? Why don't we do that? Hi, Monkey D. Luffy on YouTube. How are you doing today? We've got grass. We got grass bales. If we make some more bales of hay, and then wrap some of the hay bales for silage, we do actually have everything we need to make total mixed ration. Total mixed ration is basically just 3 kinds of grass mixed together, right? The only expensive thing is the wagon itself, you know. Let's take a quick look. Just before I finish, just for next time. Yeah, I mean, this small mixer here, this only costs 38 grand. That's quite cheap. Oh, silage, hay, and straw. We just sold all the straw. We just sold all the straw bales. Are you joking? Okay, but now we know for next time. Now we know for next year. We just need straw and grass, basically, and some of the grass needs turning into silage. That's all you need to make total mixed ration, which is a much better feed for them than just grass. I think we'll look into that next time. How far are you into the series? This is only episode 2, Luffy, and I'll be playing again next week, so I'm really enjoying it. I am genuinely... I'm really getting into it. I know it's a lot more slow-paced than my usual farming sim streams, purely because you know, we're playing with this extra level of realism. But I really like it. I've really been enjoying it so far. I'm looking forward to continuing it. Sorry, just let me... There we go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing the series. I'm really enjoying how it's been going so far. It's, you know, the map's great. I'm loving Kinlaig. I'm really enjoying all the realism from all the mods that we've got. Sorry. I'm so sorry for yawning. I am a bit tired, to be honest. Yeah, I've just all around had a good time. So, I'm going to get off. I will see you on Sunday for Subnautica, and I will start Sunday stream at 5 PM, I think. And I think for the next couple of weeks, I'll try starting my streams at 5 PM, and we'll see how it goes. And if it goes well, we might make that a permanent thing. Because I've got to do something. I've got to figure out how to get those views back. It's been 2 months. So yeah, 5 PM on Sunday, I'll be playing Subnautica. Then next week, there's going to be no Minecraft, but I will be live on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday next week. So, yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Quick shout out to the Patreons. Thank you very much to Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, Aaron, Hannah, and Liam, our latest supporter, aka STFC. Thank you very, very much for supporting us over there on Patreon. If you want to get your name on this board, there's a link in my bio. It costs £1 a month. You get access to behind-the-scenes content, as well as a shout-out on stream, and you'll be supporting me in what I do here on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. So thank you again to Kate, Jess, Riley, P, Charlie, Dan, Amy, Marika, Aaron, Hannah, and Liam. Thank you very much. That's it. That's all from me for today. I will see you on Sunday, 5 PM sharp. I guess Sunday it doesn't really make a difference because it's, you know, nobody's at work or school on Sunday anyway. But we'll start at 5 PM and we'll see how it goes. So I will see you then. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for a great stream, everybody. Honestly, I'm ending this stream for the first time in a couple of months. I'm ending this stream quite optimistically because although the viewership was still quite slow and although we only got a few extra followers today, there was just that little period in the middle. There was just a brief 20-minute period where we had like 30, 40 viewers. And I was really happy with that. I want to get back to that. That's the stage that I think we can achieve again. So I'm quite optimistic. I'm ending optimistically. We're still only 2 weeks into the year. We got plenty of time to get back into our stride. Yeah, it's I'm happy. I'm ending on a high note today. So I'll see you all next time. Bye bye everyone. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you on Sunday. Bye bye.